All right.
Do you want me to explain the whole like situation?
Now, MM has got a problem to explain. She's going to explain the problem and then what she did. All right, in your own words, what's going on?
So the problem is that they're trying to see whether floral scents improve learning.
Right.
And so they have 21 subjects, and they each, like, it's a matched pair, so they each have a turn at having the unscented one and the scented mask.
A mask? They had to wear a mask.
Yeah, which is like kind of
okay.
A little bit extra.
And then they had to do what with their masks on?
So they, it doesn't really say.
All right.
Like, so I guess they listen to music. This is like, I don't know. It says
we hear that listening to music improves students' performance. Oh, maybe. So they're saying they didn't do anything with music.
Okay. So like they don't really tell you like, but roughly equivalent paper and pencil mazes. Okay.
Yeah. So they didn't really say.
So they did mazes while wearing the masks.
Oh, okay. They did mazes. I see.
I didn't read this in depth. The problem.
All right. So then what?
Okay. So then they give you this big chart of like the scores.
Right.
And so you have to find the difference.
Right. So I'll show her. So here's all the scores. The unscented mask minus the scented mask.
So then once you get that, I put it in my calculator.
She's putting all the differences in.
Into L1.
All right.
And then,
did you find out that it was normal on all that stuff?
Yeah, so.
Okay.
Do you want me to explain that at all?
Yeah. She checked for RIN.
Okay. And then, so, H sub O is, can I just show? It's like easier to show.
All right.
Just show the equation.
There we go. Okay.
And then you plug it in for the t value, and to get x bar and s sub x, you just go into one variable statistics.
Right.
And then you just solve it.
So what did your t come out to be?
Can I see it? I
think you don't have it memorized?
Yeah, negative 0.35.
Right.
So then I use my calculator to find the p-value, and so when you go in, you have to use negative 100 for the lower and negative 0.35 for the upper, because it's on the other side of the...
Right. So the calculator needed to know the lower, then the higher, and then one other number. What was that?
Degrees of freedom, which is 20.
Right.
And then when you get that, you get 0.365, which is greater than 0.05, so you're going to fail to reject the claim.
All right. So therefore, does the floral make any difference?
No.
Pardon?
It doesn't.
Right. So all that to learn that. Okay, Brian, tell us about yours.
That made some sense on Keith. What?
I'll ask you later.
All right, Brian has one to explain.
All right, so music and memory. This one was asking, was trying to figure out if when people are working, does listening to music while they're working help? So they had 30 students, and some of them did a lot of random stuff.
Yeah, just kind of boil it down to
the purpose was that, though, some of them listened to music while they did a series of
memorization
tests, and the others had silence when they did their memorization tests.
Right.
And then they compared the music, basically music and silence, as they called it, and they made a graph of the music scores versus the silence scores.
Right. And they did a lot of the work for him, and they put it on, they gave him a box whisker, and they gave him a mini tab. So what should you conclude with those numbers?
So I made a hypothesis. I figured the hypothesis would be that the difference would be nothing.
Right.
Music doesn't help at all. Music isn't greater than silence, and that the alternate hypothesis is that it's mu is not equal to 0, where it could be greater or worse.
Right.
That's what they're trying to.
It makes some sort of difference.
Might help or it might hinder.
Right.
And they gave the mini tab. They automatically gave me the T-star value.
Right.
And the P value.
Right.
So all I had to really say was, is P is that p-value, is that reasonable? And it's much less than like a standard 0.05 alpha value.
Right.
Like, I have it here, 0.005 was the p-value, and that is less than 0.05, which is the alpha value.
Right.
So we thus reject the hypothesis.
All right. So therefore, does music make a difference?
Yes.
It does. Okay. It didn't say in which direction, but it does. All right. MD has an interesting one, so tell us the scenario.
Mine's about Darwin, so it's wrong. So
Let me show
ours.
her. Here, I'll show you two. You all can have one for your viewing pleasure. This is the one she's doing. All right. So tell us what he put in his little pots.
So Darwin put some plants in his pots. Some were fertilization, and some were self-fertilization.
Right.
So he wanted to see the difference in height.
I think he put one of each in a pot.
Yeah.
Right.
So then you go over. First thing you gotta do is check RIN, which good thing you did.
Or
So-
she had to take this chart and find all the differences.
Yeah.
Which did you do? Cross minus
Cross
self?
Yeah.
So she found cross minus self in 15 different pots.
So then you go in your calculator. You put all those into L1.
Can you show us what you got?
I think I cleared the list.
Oh, no, you
I
didn't.
cleared the list.
Oh.
You want me to do it again?
No.
So what happened when you plotted it? You had to do all the different plots. You did your histogram, box and whisker, and a probability plot, and it showed that there were outliers.
Yeah, they were strong, as she calls it, strong outliers.
Strong skewness.
Right.
And outliers.
So therefore,
since n is only equal to 15, you have to say that it is not normal because of the outlier and skewness.
right. So we cannot conduct the test.
You cannot, and plus it wasn't really random. So
Yeah.
that was
So
an added
it
bonus.
messed up in all ways.
And this is like the first time in our life where we
Got to
actually
not
listened
do.
to
We
Rin.
didn't have to do the problem. So hers her outliers were so gross outliers that we had to we had to stop the study right in our tracks.
Darwin's evolution.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We stop that.
All right. Thank you guys. Very good. All right. All right. Let's see what's up next. I will shut down this part and we'll be up to speed in a second.